Can you hear me now? All right. Welcome, everybody, to the July Assembly meeting. Thank you for coming. We have a very full agenda this morning, so we'll try to keep things moving along so you're not here running into your lunch time. We hope. All right, to get us started, I would ask Pastor Leslie to come and offer our invocation.
Let us pray. Most gracious God, we thank you for the beautiful weather and the blooming flowers. Our neighborhood is lovely this time of year, and we are grateful. We pray for our nation and for our world, that the hearts of the violent would be softened and your mercy would sustain them in their vitriol. We ask your blessings on our work here at the Hearthstone. Bless our council that we might do works worthy of each task. Bless our community and keep us mindful of the ways we can serve. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. And now, moving right along, Meg, will you tell us about the minutes?
Whoa. Last time, we didn't have a recording available for several weeks, and so I did make a number of changes to the minutes after the recording came out, and I don't have them in front of me right now, but I will. Anyway, they mostly had to do with Reggie's report and Tim's report, which I made clearer, and I sent out these minutes to all of the council members and didn't get any comments, or if I did, I've incorporated them, so I'm hoping for your approval as amended. May I have a motion to approve the minutes? Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. The minutes are approved. This is last month's meeting.
All right, thank you. And Allison with our treasurer's report.
There have been no expenditures since my last report in June, and the current balance in our account is $1,919.15.
All right. Thank you, Allison. Marnie, for the Employee Appreciation Fund.
I, too, don't have a lot of new news. We continue to encourage everyone to participate in showing appreciation for our hourly employees. Thank you.
All right. So moving on to the management section, we have a number of familiar faces and some new ones. So we're going to meet a lot of people and hear about new jobs and new promotions and so on. So Reggie will begin with talking about some of the things going on and then introduce some of the folks for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reggie.
Thank you, Elaine. Good morning, everybody. It's always so great to see all of you. Kind of judging the crowd might be a little lighter today. I'm not sure what else is going on, but glad to have all of you here with us. So I want to introduce a couple of people. One is standing in the back that I'm going to just ask to come down, and Don and stand right here. Some of you have not yet seen Don's face in person. So Don May is our Chief Financial Officer, and he's not going to speak today. I put him on the spot. He didn't even know about this meeting. That's my fault. But Don lives in the Phoenix, Arizona area and commutes up here, but is here 3 weeks running, meaning that he works more being here 3 weeks straight, including all his weekend time. So those of you on the 10th floor may have met Don. He has an apartment up there that he uses, and his office is down here on the first floor. But I cannot begin to tell you how busy he has been since he got here, doing some, we'll just say, cleanup work, and getting some required reporting done for compliance purposes, and he's pretty much through with that, working on the one for the second quarter now. Our audit, I'll just steal his thunder a little bit, our audit is well underway. That sort of happens in 3 phases. One is where we do all of our work to get ready with a trial balance that we feel like is appropriate and accurate for last year. That goes out to our outside accounting firm, Clifton Larson Allen. And then CLA, the next step is after they start looking through that, they come here. That has happened. So we're about 2/3 of the way through that audit process. They're now figuring out what questions they have and beginning to build their reports. They'll come back to Don and I, ultimately to our board. And once the audit is approved and published, we'll make you all aware. And we put copies in the library and on Touchtown. So glad to have you here. Thank you so much for stopping by. A couple things on my list that I skipped past, but I needed to let Don go. Renovations-wise, not much has changed. We're still working on the 10th floor, but that apartment is almost completed. We're pretty excited about that. We have a new couple moving in about 2 weeks. August the 6th, Ariana says, and if she says it, that's when it's going to happen. So, yeah, their last name is Carnegie, and so we're really excited to have them join us. We're also doing work, as those of you who live in Cove West know, we're combining 2 apartments on the 3rd floor at Cove West. That has been a much slower process. First and foremost, that unit is not yet spoken for, and so it comes down a notch as we have other priorities. We have 2 other move-ins scheduled, and we're getting those apartments ready as well. Those are not combinations. It's the combinations that take Gary and his team so long to perform that full renovation. We're going to be starting some work in the near future on the 8th floor, and I don't have my list in front of me. Where else are we working? 6?
37, 30, a little bit.
37.
630.
On the 6th floor. Okay, and 7th. Oh, that's right. We had 2 units, both come empty, that need renovation, and they're on top of one another. So that's one less person we will bother in that process. But yeah, it's 7:30 and 6:30. But those of you that live on that wing or across or above or below the 2 apartments probably aware that we do try our best to keep you notified of noise, of water cutoffs, that type thing. And those just can't be avoided in our effort to try to grow our occupancy here and create apartments that where there is demand. So the other things, the org chart, our organizational chart is completed and up to date, except there are 2 more changes, and I probably won't get them in there till the next round. But that has been shown to the board. We've shown it to resident council, and I believe we're ready to, we've sent it out to our staff, but we're ready to put it in Touchtown, and we'll put a copy, I think, in the library. And maybe, I think Hallie will talk about how we're going to distribute that. She's got some, I think, better ideas of how we get important information out like that to you without having to make 200 copies of what is about an 8-page document. So, yeah, so that's done. That'll be forthcoming very soon. I got a couple more introductions. I see him on the back row. Michael, if you'll come on up, I'll start talking about you. But so Michael, why am I blanking on Michael's last name? I know. Michael Hickey joined us this week. He is on day 4. Michael is our Executive Director of Assisted Living and Memory Care, and we're so excited to have him join us for a number of reasons. That position has been unstable since before I got here, and we thought we'd hired somebody great earlier this year, and that did not work out, so we're thrilled to have Michael here. Michael comes out of the Brookdale family, a highly respected organization. He most recently has been, and you'll see all this, we'll get out a printed announcement or email announcement probably by tomorrow, so you can look for that. All the details are in there, but Michael is an accomplished senior living professional, and we couldn't ask for anybody better to be overseeing our assisted living and memory care, because we intend to increase our occupancy, make some very positive changes in those areas, both in terms of the physical plant, but also in terms of the operation. For instance, meals, that our new program for dining there will be identical to what we do in our main dining room upstairs. So we look forward to all of that. I won't put you on the spot. Do you want to say anything?
No, I appreciate you not putting me on the spot. I just have to say that I am very pleased to be here. It's been a great 3.2 days. And I live primarily on the 3rd and 4th floor, but I'll be around, and I'm looking forward to meeting everyone, and I hope that I can provide some added value for all of you here.
Okay. Welcome, Michael. Thank you. Yeah, his office is beside or next door to our nurses station at this point, so on the 3rd floor. So if you need him, you have questions about our assisted living or memory care, if you're dealing with those kinds of issues, or if you just generally are inquisitive about the process, he is certainly somebody to talk to. Stacy could not be here today. Stacy Massaros, who is our Executive Director of Health Services, she's actually traveling. She's in Scotland, and she and her extended family do a big trip there. I'm not sure if it's every year or not, but yeah, we were excited for her to be able to do that. Michael was supposed to start last week, and he would have gotten to spend some time with Stacy, but unfortunately there was a delay, and so he's had me to try to pretend to guide him the last couple of days, but anyway, it's a great addition to our team. And so if you're missing Stacy, she's on vacation. She'll be back, I think, not next week, the week after. The next introduction is Xenia, and it doesn't necessarily sound exactly like it looks. I saw her name. I said, "That's just Greek to me," and she said, "Yes, it's Greek." But it's, the X is pronounced. It's not a Z sound, it's X. And then you put a kind of a small S in front of the Enia part. So it's Xenia, Xenia. Am I doing it right? Okay. I struggle with the last name. I won't pretend to do that, but stand up, Xenia. So Xenia is now in the position of Executive Assistant to the CEO. It's a different title. In that role, she supports me primarily, this council, and Assembly, our Board of Trustees, our Foundation Board of Directors, and then I do some work with an association that we're a part of for our insurances and things. That's called Lutheran Services of the Northwest. So anyway, we're excited to have her here. She's week 2 or 3, 2. And Hallie has been great. They've been sort of side by side. Hallie's office is moving, and she can tell you about that. That hasn't happened. It'll probably happen this weekend, but it's just great to have you here. Welcome to the community. So, I didn't see Patty. I was like, I see John, I don't see Patty. So 2 people that you likely already know, one of whom has been a staple in this community for how many years, John? 15 years. But we made some changes with the oversight of our dining services area. It was just a good opportunity to do that. Joe Barron, that many of you remember, had an opportunity that was in many ways much better for him. I talked to his boss. That's who I deal with at Sodexo. But Joe is still with Sodexo. He's at a different community, but he no longer serves the Hearthstone. In his place, Sodexo decided to promote so Joe was general manager. They promoted Patty Carlin, who was our operations manager for Sodexo. She is now in the general manager position. We don't really use those titles here at the Hearthstone. We call her the director of dining services. If you're not really familiar with Patty, it's because she has spent the majority of her time since she came on board, and she was in the original group that transitioned us from Unidyne to Sodexo, but she's also gets almost full credit for getting the bistro open, and she hangs out there. I know, I see a lot of folks clapping. She she has spent most of her time there. But in this transition with Joe leaving, we were excited to have Patty be promoted and step up. And so she is now our general manager or director of dining services. And stand up just in case they have not seen you lately. So Patty's office is in the back of the main kitchen area, which is not really a place residents should go or can go, but you can call her, you can email her if you have questions or concerns about menus or food items. She's also participates in the dining committee meetings, and that's a great place to see her there. So with Patty being promoted, that left a vacancy in her spot, and Sodexo was excited and I think did some arm twisting and talked our own John Eldridge into taking that position. So John, in addition to being our dining room manager, so he has 2 titles now. He is the operations manager for Sodexo, and I'm just making sure what we put on the sheet here. Yeah, dining operations manager. So he works very closely with Patty, and it's really, I like things that fall into 3-legged stools because I know it'll stay up. And so you got the executive chef, Eric, Patty, and John, and I'm confident that team will continue to do an outstanding job with our food service and our dining and special events, et cetera. So anyway, John, please stand up. Nobody knows what you look like. So lots of changes. Very few of them have anything to do with one another. It's just the timing of so many things. We've made announcements about John and Patty. We've made announcements when Don came on board. We'll get an announcement out today about Xenia and Michael. So I think that's everything that was on my list. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, so we've got a couple things. Again, we meet with the resident council leadership every week, so we, at that time, have the opportunity to understand what's coming up from you as a resident body, and then we can address these things. So a couple things that got brought up, a Wi-Fi update. We'll do InTech, IT, and Haley Bear first. So Haley Bear is your resident IT services. So that's the sign-up sheet in the lower level. It's from 1 to 4 p.m. every Sunday. So you can sign up down there. Unfortunately, we can't expand that sign-up sheet elsewhere, but you can call somebody to have them check availability. We did expand it from 2 hours before to 4 hours now. So again, this is a complimentary service that we're providing for residents. If your time's going to exceed 30 minutes, so if something is more complicated than they can troubleshoot within 30 minutes, they can provide you a quote that you can then agree to or approve and work with them outside of those hours, because we don't want it to affect the rest of the residents. So again, if it's gonna go over 30 minutes, they can quote you and you can do work with them on the side. Or if you have any extracurricular projects that you want, perhaps you want all of your VHS tapes on Blu-ray or DVD. Those are the kind of projects that they can quote for you and do for you. That'll also give you the opportunity to compare that. You can go to Geek Squad and say, this is what I'm gonna get charged internally. What would you charge me to do the same? So just to be clear on that, InTech is a provider for Hearthstone staff, so they don't have anything to do with the residents. So I wanna just reiterate that. Haley Bear is here on Sundays from 1 to 4 p.m. Victoria. So on that note, it came to this morning we understood that we are not receiving external emails and we're not able to send emails externally. So if anyone has tried to email staff at hearthstone.org within yesterday or today, likely they're either going to bounce back or they already did. InTech is here right now prioritizing that. They're working on it. Please, if you see Victoria, don't interrupt her. This is a very urgent thing that we need her to work on. So hopefully we get that fixed and resolved. But again, if you sent any important emails to any staff yesterday or today, please make sure you resend them or make us aware of that. Okay. On the Wi-Fi. So the Lakeside Wi-Fi access project is well underway. We're finalizing the installation. In order to install these devices, it was a big to do. So our internal team is finishing that up, and we expect that to be wrapped in about 2 weeks or so. So you should see improvements by early August. And then PACMed. We've heard a lot of people saying that the wellness clinic downstairs has been not like it used to be. So the ability to go down and choose somebody internally as your primary care physician, or a last minute exam that you might need, or blood work. So we have partnered with Pacific Medical, short PACMed, and we will be doing an open house where all residents are invited to come by. That'll be on August 6th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. It's in Touchtown. We'll get that announced and promoted, but just as a heads up, we're very excited about this opportunity and to get that area a little more revamped and accessible to all of you guys. And last but not least, Hearthstone Olympics. So on behalf of Kristen and the resident engagement team, hopefully all of you know that that's starting. That'll start on Monday, the 29th of July. Reminder to get a rep from your floors and building to participate in the torch ceremony. And she wanted to say, a final schedule will be in your mailboxes next week. The ping pong tournament will be at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Will not be at 10 a.m. on Wednesday because it conflicts with an exercise class. Make sure you practice your paper airplane skills for day one. And see anyone on the resident engagement team if you have any questions. Thank you, everybody. Most importantly, I would love to introduce Ariana. Most of us have gone to your building and floor meetings, so you've gotten a little feel for her new position, but everybody knows Ariana, and we'd like to invite her up to tell you a little bit more about her new position.
Good morning. I was thinking today on my way here that I don't think I've been up here since I started 7 years ago. I could be wrong. It's been kind of a wild ride, but my son was just a few months old then, and now he's going to second grade, so it's been a while. Again, Ariana Bauer. I've been the move-in coordinator here for over 7 years. I'm so glad that Ixenia is now here because she has a name that's harder to pronounce than mine, so that's good. And I'm so glad you're here anyways. Okay, my new position. So, like I said, for the last 7 years, I've been the move-in coordinator here at the Hearthstone. I will continue to do all independent living resident move-ins and making sure apartments are ready for new folks. In addition, so my new title is Resident Success Manager. So I will be in charge of the overall satisfaction of independent living residents. What that means is I'll be working on lots of projects to hopefully improve your life and help you. At this time, I'm working hard with Reggie and Hallie on the resident handbook because, you know, you need a resident handbook that's correct to access and reference so that you can be successful. Also working on following up on WeCare survey results. So that's kind of what I'm up to right now. If you have a concern, question, specifically an individual issue, question, don't hesitate to come to me. I love to problem solve, love to brainstorm. So if you have an individual something that's hindering you or you need help with or don't know who to go to, don't hesitate to come see me. My new office is in the Resource Center on lower level here at the Lakeside Building. It's just when you go in the Resource Center, it's kind of to the left near transportation. I'm here Monday through Thursday, off Fridays usually from about 9 to 5. So again, don't hesitate if you need help in the Resource Center. I'm down there now. If you need help with the printer, faxing, sign up, etc., don't hesitate to call or come see me. And again, if you have something that you want to chat about, my door is always open and I'm down there and excited to keep working for you and making your life here at the Hearthstone the very best it can be. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Are we going to get an update on the address book? Do you do that?
All right. Thank you so far. Tim will continue the information.
I'm shorter. So I'm also going to start with an introduction of a face you already know quite well. And I haven't even seen where Lexi is. Clear in the back of the room. I'm going to introduce Lexi. And why am I introducing Lexi? Her role has expanded. Announcement went out on that a little while ago also. But what does it mean to be a facilities coordinator also? For us, it means a coordinator is probably one of the most vital roles that we could have in our department, because that's the person that basically moves all the pieces. And that's instrumental for us. And one of the examples that I'll share in a moment is how a work order should flow coming in and going out, and her role is integral in that process. So she's kind of going to be the glue that holds us all together, ultimately. She's in the suite down where I am. I call it the suite. So we have Gary down there. We have Lexi, myself, Nate, and Evelyn. So your facility leadership is right there, okay? Lexi, please. Because you already know who Lexi is, but you got to, I mean, this is her moment. This is where I give her roses. And Lexi Reynolds, she is still the front desk manager in addition to our facilities coordinator. In my world, she's an operations manager, okay? Myself, Nate, and Lexi.
Reggie just requested that I give you guys an update on the directory. I'm still getting some updates coming through as of today. It is my hope to have it out to all of you by next week, okay? So if you guys have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you. Okay, now my normal spiel. So today it's going to be all good. All good. Even the bad is going to be great. Okay? I have confidence. I have hope. A year and a half and I still have hope. So I'll start with our work order process, or TELS. And in Touchtown, it's your work order for the residents. So we rely heavily on our residents putting in work orders through Touchtown. For staff, we use TELS, either on their desktop or we have apps on phones and things like that. So TELS or Touchtown is not just a work order system, and this is going to fill some of the gaps ultimately with some of the things we need to be doing moving forward. And TELS also has what we call a PM function, preventive maintenance. In TELS, they call it TAS. And that is used for doing things like scheduling regular maintenance on like HVAC equipment, or in a resident apartment, it might be the refrigerator. When do we change the filter on it? When do we change the filters on the furnace in there? When do we do the dryer vents, things like that. So it's a very robust system. It's separate, but it's the same. We manage that, we drive it. We have to start by doing things like inventorying equipment, making sure we've got all of the equipment in there first. It's tagged, it's logged. We have all the models, serial numbers, all that fun stuff. The other aspect of it that is extremely valuable to me, and we're already using, is the compliance piece. And this is mostly healthcare and assisted living, but the piece there is all of our life safety type of stuff. The things that we have to manage for state survey, for assisted living, and for healthcare. So those are 3-4 big elements of TELS that we're really pushing behind the scenes now. In order to do that, and we kind of put the cart before the horse, we just threw Thank you, Hallie. We basically just went from one work order system to another, didn't miss a beat, started rocking and rolling, got it out to all the residents and staff. But what we didn't have was a policy and procedure. Okay? You got to have a policy and procedure. I have to have directions for my team. How do they do certain aspects? What is their role in it? All of that kind of stuff. So that is written. That is done. It's modified. It's approved. And we're going to start moving forward with it. How does that impact you? And this will be communicated out. I'll just talk about the work order process, and this is where Lexi comes in a lot. Let me get to the right page because I want to make sure I do this right. This covers all of the aspects I just kind of talked about. So when we talk about a work order, how does a work order usually get to us? It's going to get there a couple of different ways. Somebody may use Touchdown, and it's going to automatically come across to us. One of our staff members may use TELS or the desktop application or their app, and it's going to come across. Somebody may phone in a request, and then we're going to create a request based on that information. Somebody may call the hotline. That information will be provided. So one of the immediate changes, and this is where you're going to hear Lexi's voice, if you were to call extension 5213, that's Lexi. That's for work orders. She's going to be putting in the work order if you have to have it done that way. If you were to call the hotline, she is managing the hotline Monday through Friday during business hours. Okay? So the cell phone that normally a maintenance staff member might have had to carry around, she is carrying that during normal business hours. It still is handed off to the other 2 shifts, so 24/7 coverage continues, and it'll be managed the same way after that. So you may hear Lexi calling you for information, getting more clarification on a work order. She may be the person following up on a work order. She may be the person going to you and asking for more information. Things like that. So her role for us is going to be very instrumental on how we navigate work out to the team. So they don't have to worry about that piece. So I'm very thankful that we have that position now. She's already been instrumental in ensuring that the emergency manual for our community is finished. And I couldn't have done it without her assistance because I type really slow, extremely slow. I do that. It doesn't work very fast. I'm not going to open for questions on that one because I'll probably get a ton. How do you read? Oh, I'm sorry. That's 5555. That's the hotline. Okay. Okay. And I don't know how I got the name hotline. I would assume it was the hotline. If you had an emergency, that's the number you call, okay? And I would continue to do that. Call the front desk, call the hotline, call somebody, get somebody moving. We'll put the work order in later, okay? Just get somebody over. If your apartment's flooding because something overflowed, get us over there, kind of thing, okay? There we go. And this is already in place. Okay, so I'll communicate this out to and get a blast out on more specifics on that. That's great news for me. Staff training, this doesn't impact you, but it will impact you in this, that now I'm starting to focus more on training our internal staff, meaning our frontline team, environmental services, our facility staff, and even my own team and myself. And we're looking at it 3 ways where I'm going to be required to provide 3 different types of training every month at minimum. And one of the trainings will always focus on customer service. One of the trainings will always focus on regulatory or OSHA related kind of things. And one of the trainings will always focus on something technical for that individual department. So what we teach the housekeeper may be different than what we teach the laundry person, and different from what we teach the maintenance or facilities person. So that's one of my primary focuses today and moving forward, along with the TELS piece. And then the last piece, and then I'll end with staffing. Last piece is grounds. Oh boy. So here's the news. The news is, and we left it off, we found a puddle up there, correct? I believe so. We've had a puddle, and we discovered more was going on. Well, we have a stream now, okay? And we're replacing some of the broken pieces up on that main line. We're also having to rewire the system back to the main clock that's in the boiler room. So we're finding that almost everything that was is no longer and is being redone. So that's basically where we're at. The other news associated with that, and this will create more questions at some point, is we've made the decision and we are terminating the contract with Brightview. And I thought I'd get a couple yays. This was very painful because I'll tell you straight up, this is a Sodexo preferred provider. This is somebody that we say is the best of the best, right? They're not the best of the best. Okay, they have not proven that. And from the day I started here, they had not proven that. So we're giving them a 30-day notice. The last day they'll be on this site officially is August 31st. So now we're working on the plan, and the plan is pretty fully baked. I just need some final approval. So I'm not comfortable with going with another service provider. I don't have that trust level right now, so we're doing something more internal. Okay, we're going to be hiring a staff member. The staff member is going to be more focused on grounds, not landscaping, grounds, gardening, irrigation, the things we need here. They're going to be more involved with our residents, things like that, okay? That's a good thing to come. I'm going to leave with staffing because today it's being handled extremely well. But there's always that opportunity where it can be. Right now, if you didn't know, we have two maintenance staff members that are out, and they're both day shift employees. One is on a scheduled, already new vacation, much deserved, and that does put a crimp in our schedule. The other one was on an unexpected leave of absence for a couple weeks, which was critical that the individual do this. So Chris has been the man, okay? Chris is, all this week has been running his poor legs off, answering calls the best he can. And again, this is where that coordinator, where Lexi really steps in of moving the chess pieces, okay? And it's really showing its worth this week. We're gonna continue to have that issue into next week, but it's being handled. After that, my hope is everybody's back and we're in good shape. For housekeeping, if you didn't know, because you shouldn't know, we've been down 3 housekeepers. And some of it is an opening, some of it is had to go home, some of it is scheduled vacation. And why you don't notice is because Evelyn is out there filling all the gaps like she does, seamlessly, okay? So I can't say enough about Evelyn and what she does. And all of those staff members are expected back next week, so the gap will be refilled. However, Evelyn goes on vacation next week. That's where I get nervous, and that's where Nate gets nervous. So we're working on all of the potential gaps that could be associated with everything that Evelyn does, and it's a lot, okay? Nate's up for the challenge. I'm there to support him. You may see Nate cleaning a room. Maybe not as good as Evelyn, though, guaranteed, okay? So with all the staff coming back, it's going to help with those gaps a lot. But no, Evelyn is also going on a much-deserved vacation back home with actually her daughter, which is one of our other staff members. So you won't see her for a few weeks. but she'll come back refreshed and ready to hit it again. Okay. I think that's it for staffing. I'm amazed at what the staff can do in spite of some of the shortages sometimes. So when you see them out there, thank them. Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right, big thanks to all of our management folks. I don't know about you, but I certainly appreciate hearing from them and hearing all the things they're doing to make our lives easier, better, and I believe they all have our best interest at heart. So please be patient with times when staffing is low, and remember to say thank you. All right. One of the emails that didn't get through was an addition to the agenda, and we're going to start with that one. And that is Sylvia. But before you rush up here, I just wanted to give a shout out to Sharon and Rita and all the crew that put out the first edition of The Voices. I thought it was great, and I know that was sort of the practice run, and we look forward to more in the future. And don't forget, if you have photos and articles and whatever that you want to see in print, send them over. All right, and now we will begin committee things with Sylvia talking about the gift shop.
Can you hear me? Okay. I know what it's like to have staff not there. We have 2 staff out, perhaps one permanently, another one for a month or 2. And so we're trying to fill that with some of the volunteers. But besides that, I do desperately need some more people to fill both permanent, like 2 hours a week type of thing. And so I'm putting a call out for that. I'm hoping to train at least a couple people next week, perhaps. But it takes a little while for them to feel really comfortable in the shop, so I hate to leave them alone right at first, too. Also, if anybody is interested, I could use a couple helpers, not necessarily to work in the shop, but to help me, one with scheduling and another one with some of the financial stuff between the shop and the controllers downstairs. So if somebody's interested in doing kind of some paperwork on besides, let me know. I'd love to talk about it. Now, the one thing I did want to say today, I would have liked to have gotten in the Voice for the next issue, and I got a special again on the laundry detergent. So for the month of August, we're going to have laundry detergent on sale. $12 for 1 or 2 for 20. So I wanted to put that out there so that you could all, because I don't know if everybody uses it, but there's a lot of you that do. And I know some of you have even used it for Christmas presents, so it's another way of thinking of it. So I just wanted to let you know because it didn't get in the Voice. I didn't know it then. Okay, any questions on that?
Is that, you mean sheets? Do you mean laundry sheets?
Yeah, the laundry sheets that come in a little package that lasts for 30 to 60 days. And depending on how big a loads and how much washing you do. but it's a lot nicer than the big jugs or the, and it's helps our world out there not to have so much stuff. Okay.
Thank you, Sylvia. And next we will hear from Terry about the dining committee.
Well, we began our meeting on July 2nd We began our meeting on July 2nd with first congratulating Patty and John on their promotions that Reggie alluded to, as well as to Hallie, who was promoted as the Executive Director of Independent Living, because she's been serving on our committee as Reggie's representative. And we really appreciate the fact that administration decided to promote from within in recognition of their dedication to providing quality of dining service for all of us. And we really look forward to continuing to work with them as we go forward. So as far as the meeting, as you may have all noticed, on July 9th, there was an update to the left side, always available menu. And backed by popular demand was the, blueberry and pecan salad, as well as they had added some options for the stir fry. So now you can have chicken, shrimp, as well as tofu for that. In addition to our July 4th celebration, which we just had, we will have our normal birthday celebration on the 25th, but also there's going to be a Seafair luncheon on the 30th of July. So I think we'll all look forward to that. And Patty also shared with us that in the bistro they will be offering gluten-free bread soon. And also with her promotion, they will be looking to hire a new supervisor for the bistro. Currently, John is working to hire, of course, new replacements for our graduating seniors. And Chef Eric shared with us that he was able to identify a chef with 25 years of experience who's actually going to come and work for us as a line cook. So what a kudos to him. The Happy Kiosk results were not available for this month with the transitions of all the positions, but it will be available at our next meeting. And speaking of that, there will be no meeting in August, so the next update will be September. Thanks.
Thank you, Terry. And Don, give us the latest on the movies coming up.
I've been asked to be brief, so I will talk quickly. So we are in the middle of a theme this month on space and space exploration. The final 3 films of that theme are Gravity, The Martian, and Interstellar. However, on Tuesday, next Tuesday, everybody write this down. On Friday the 26th, what starts? The Olympics. Well, we're going to re-show Boys in the Boat on Tuesday the 23rd and again wallow in our own Olympics. Okay, in August, coming up, we have a theme on Saturday nights that is good movies with great soundtracks. And in order, we will show Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?, American Graffiti, The Big Chill, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Saturday Night Fever for all you disco fans. And the Cove West movie this in August is Peace, P-E-A-C-E, by Chocolate. That's it.
Thank you, Don. All right, we're going to move on to our floor building chairs reports, and we're going to start today with Cove West with Alice, and she has a little addition to her report on the Green Team.
So at Cove West, we have no one's moved in, no one's moved out. We have 2 vacancies and 1 slow remodel. So that's kind of the news from Cove West. I also wanted to tell you about the green team being reconstituted. Is this working? Yes. Okay. We met last week with Tim, Rita Smith, Meg, and I, and talked about, well, we talked about what we can do here and what we do with all of our stuff that we get. And then on Monday, I thought Tim was going to talk about this. Monday, we actually toured the buildings with Anna from Waste Management, and we learned a lot. Some of us from Coves have never seen your garbage chute, for example. And then we said, where does the garbage go when it goes down? So we learned about that. Anyway, there's lots of things to learn. I think the next thing we're going to be doing probably is talking to Patty about the purchasing of the dining containers, because we have learned, I just learned that the darker green bags that we get are not compostable. And so we can't, pardon me? The darker green, yeah. So we're going to have to find out about that. What do we do with that? I mean, it can't go in the recycling because that tangles up the machinery, and it can't go in the compost, so it's got to go in the trash. So we're going to try to see what we can do to improve or persuade or whatever it is, so that we're not making so much trash in the world. Because we now know that the actual trash has to travel 200 miles to go to somewhere in Oregon. Because where do you put everything? And as we said in the last issue of Voices, if you want to send something away, there is no away. I think that's enough. We'll be keeping in touch about the green team. Thanks.
All right, thank you for both reports. Denise, Cove East.
Okay, we're pretty stable at Cove East. Nobody's left. Nobody's coming in. We're all full. We've been having puzzle mania in our commons room, so if you're coming to the bistro, stop by and help. We've had some challenging puzzles. Other than that, we had strawberry dessert first one night. We had a big strawberry festival. We don't have anything else planned for the rest, at this point, for the rest of the summer. We're just wallowing in our peace and quiet.
Thank you. The strawberry shortcake thing was a popular item around the community, so I wholly endorse that for the future. Georgia, 10th floor. Or some, sorry, Sheila.
So we're welcoming the Carnegies, Jim and Nancy, coming up pretty quickly, and that's exciting. Some of us know them well. They'll be a great addition. Let's see. The kitchen, I guess, is one thing I just want to mention real quickly, even though it's on the 10th floor, but we talked with Ariana. We had some issues last week about some of the problems in the kitchen. And we're going to have a meeting, form a committee in September to, excuse me, sort of meet occasionally when issues arise. And Claudia and I will be talking more about that come September. I think the Dunns have moved, so we're going to have a big unit. It was all, they didn't live there very long, but they're down on the 2nd floor now. So that'll be opening up, and we have the Caton's unit. So, and I don't know, as long as Don's here, I guess that unit will be his, and used to be a guest suite. So anyway, things are going well, and we're looking forward to the next people on our floor.
Thank you. And we'll hear from Jean from the 9th floor.
Thank you. The 9th floor is pretty stable right now, and I think people are pretty happy. We will be having National Root Beer Float Day on the 6th of August, which is also, it's a very busy day, the 6th of August, it seems like. So that's what our floor will be doing. And then toward the end of August, we also have our annual Waffle Day. So we'll be making waffles for the 9th floor on that day. And if you have a chance to come to our floor and look at our display on the across from the elevators, Diana Marshall again has done a tour de force over there. She has put a display about the Olympics, and every day we get a little addition to it. Some days we have a wonderful little synchronized swimming display on the window, and she's got like pole vaulting, and she cuts them all out. It's really kind of fun. So if you have a chance, come up and take a look at that. Thank you.
Thank you. And the 8th floor, Liz.
That's a tough act to follow because 8th floor has been pretty calm. We did have a wonderful strawberry shortcake day. We have 4 different residents that have help in the laundry room, and so we now have a whiteboard there with sign-ups, so our residents can tell when people really need to use the washers and dryers, and it's being much more effective. That way there's not people that are overlapping each other. Other than that, I don't think we have anything. Oh, no, that's it.
Thank you. Isa on the 7th floor.
The 7th floor, I think, is also very happy, and we haven't in recent years, I think, announced any events, but we're going to have a root beer float party on Tuesday. That's it.
All right, thank you. Jackie, not here. Paul? Maybe we'll bring a mic to you if you got it? Okay. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. The 6th floor is doing well. The only thing I want to mention is our report is we're having Ariana and Hallie to our meeting later this month. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Laurel, 5th floor.
It's okay. 5th floor, not much activity, no move-ins, no move-outs. I did want to encourage, Inga Wood was our 5th floor resident before she moved to assisted living and then the health center. So her memorial is this Sunday here, 3 o'clock. She was a great lady. And Lil, for those, you know, she's back in the hospital, and we're hoping to hear more how she's doing. So keep her in your prayers and thoughts. And we are going to have a root beer float later in August. Not root beer float day, but we're going to have root beer floats and purple cows. If anybody remembers purple cows, because there's a few people who don't like root beer. So they would like the purple cow. So that's what we're doing. Okay. That's grape juice with vanilla ice cream. I see some, what is a purple cow? That's what it is.
All right. I might have to crash your party on that one. All right, and the 4th floor, Eunice, who's sitting over here.
We have some new move-ins that you've heard about. Jenny and Dick Dunn going in 420, and Dick is back and forth to the health center. And in the residents who we hope are coming back are Arthur Warrett and Jenny Harmon and Bev Larson, all in the health center.
Thank you. All right, that is it, folks. I just wanted to add to Hallie's comments, the Olympics coming up. Get your teams together, practice your ping pong, bocce ball, cornhole, and if you're not into the physical sports, practice your paper airplane making and flying. There's probably going to be all kinds of, I don't know, word games, puzzle doing. So round up your team. I think there's going to be a little floor competition. Cove West, you know, we're kind of going to get in there. All right. And just a reminder that there's no meetings in August, so enjoy that time off. And we are ready to adjourn. Does anybody have a motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor? All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your summer.